Que bueno para todos. Dr. Treblesix. Aquí con otra entrega de The Psychology of a Dark Souls Player y hoy estamos trabajando dentro dos límites de Dark Souls Remastered en Orlando. Puedes decir que es Dark Souls Remastered porque todo tiene un aspecto super brillante y todo parcela como si estuviera untado con vaselina. Just kidding. You didn't think I was speaking in Spanish the whole session, did you? No, of course not. I only took enough Spanish in high school to be able to speak in at a first grade level, and I could not keep this up for the whole video. No, you see, I am speaking in Spanish because the player I invaded here was Spanish speaking. You see, Dark Souls is an interesting game because you can't communicate to the other player. You can only gesture and perform as what Miyazaki said, a silent cooperation. Not that it would really help since, as I mentioned 1 minute ago, that this player only spoke Spanish to me over PlayStation messages. You see, I may be an amazing doctor psychologist, but I'm not very good at understanding Spanish. I know, even the great player such as myself has weaknesses. They say it makes me more relatable to you, the viewer. My time in the COD lobbies only taught me swear words in foreign languages, after all. Anyway, where was I? Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. Anyway, this guy can't speak to me in English, and the first thing he did to me when I invaded him was to bow me and bribe me with a soul of smile. So that was nice. As a result of the obvious bribe, I followed this guy. Or maybe he's a she? The character is a woman with a name Maria. So just like James Sunderland, I'm following Maria around a scary looking ghost town. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you play video games as a male or female, usually? I'm a guy, and I rarely play as women. The only time I've played as a woman is when I played as Miss Dag. Her, she are her pronouns. Get it? Because she only uses daggers. That's the joke. Kinda like how I made a guy who only uses katanas and is called Sam O'Reilly. It's cause he loves Tom Cruise's movie The Last Samurai. He also kinda looks like Tom Cruise. You know, Sam O'Reilly just got done playing Elden Ring with a bleed build and 2 katanas. And they were talking on Twitter saying that he didn't really beat Elden Ring since he used a bleed build. Speaking of Twitter, did you hear the discourse about whether or not 100 Elden Ring players could beat one gorilla? Well, of course they can't, because the 100 Elden Ring players would just keep waiting for another player to fight for them. Anyway, I digress. You see, this player was just doing something fascinating. They were completely ignoring the Firekeeper of Orlando. You can kind of see how the Phantom of the Firekeeper from my point of view is just trying to attack them, but the host, Maria, just keeps ignoring them. Why do you think that is? Are they doing some sort of pacifist run? I mean, Guinevere is an illusion, so I guess it's fine, technically, to destroy it, but where do those 2 Dark Moon Blade gankers go? I don't know. Well, the truth is that this player just kind of gave up on defeating her, and needs me as a co-op partner to turn the elevator of Orlando while she runs away from the Firekeeper. Not like I personally find her that challenging.
R2.
Damn. Oh, catch her while she's buffing.
How did you ever get this far? But how? With you, was it? How dare you? But how?
Alright, parry dagger, bitch. Oh! They hate to see women fighting. So lock onto her.
But how? How dare you produce a But how?
R2.
How dare you produce But how? But how?
Oh god, now she's carrying me. Oh! Sorry lady. I was just kidding.
But how? how?
Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Ooh! Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. This is why lightning better than magic, lady. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
How dare you produce it? But how?
Wrath of Gods is so cool.
But how?
Oh, wow. Wow, you're so good, lady. You're so good. You're so good, lady. What can I say? Outplayed.
But how?
Yeah, right.
But hey, you know, I'm performing the silent cooperation that Miyazaki intended, and here we go. I guess originally Maria turned it upwards, and I turned it back, but not enough to get to the boss. Oops. But our Maria is determined not to die. And here I am performing that silent cooperation again by turning the elevator. So eventually we gave the firekeeper the slip and escaped the boss fog wall. This is where they messaged me over PlayStation in Spanish. Well, my best guess at the time was that the woman, which was the firekeeper, was giving her trouble, and that they were very thankful and gave me another soul. Now, I decided to give them that really rare soul from Lost Izalith worth 20,000 as a little boost to beating the game and a couple of green blossoms. I had 99 of them, so I figured I could do a little wealth distribution to the less fortunate. And like any good Dark Souls multiplayer encounter, we spent about 5 minutes just gesturing each other instead of fighting. The real combat is who can gesture better. Well, good luck, Maria. I would love to see their face though when they beat the boss and realize that it was totally optional and it didn't get them any closer to beating the game. Good luck, Maria. And that was the story about how I made silent cooperation a main priority in Dark Souls Remastered. But that's not where this video ends. No. See, we're doing the deep dive psychology assessment of an invader. The duality of an invader. I wasn't just done invading. That very next day, I got off Dark Souls 1 and into Dark Souls 2. Just a whopping 12 hours later from that last invasion, just 720 minutes later from that last invasion you saw, we are now invading in Dark Souls 2 as the dude on the cover in the Dragonary. And our host in our session is another first-time player. They are fighting the Dragon Knight. And let me tell you, Dark Souls 2 really upped the NPC's health bars. Like, look at all that health. Also, the Dragon Knight does a lot of damage. I mean, golly, look at that damage. Wow, I mean, that was almost the host's entire health bar. Wow. Don't get hit by him. Look at that damage from that backstab. But the player keeps on trying and keeps using life gems to heal up and beat the Dragon Knight. Now, how can I tell this player is a first-time player? Well, the first clue is that they're using the Blossom Kite Shield. You see, Dark Souls 2's equivalent of the Grass Crest Shield is not very good. In fact, it's bad. Second, they aren't two-handing their halberd. Now, when it comes to optimizing your damage in this game, you just want a two-hand in almost every single situation, especially if you're using a halberd. Now, being the amazing and gracious doctor I am, I'm here cheering them on. Let's go. Let's go. You can do it, player. Come on. I keep cheering them on, making sure they don't get too close to them so that the lock-on targets me instead of the Dragon Knight. So here I am. I see that this player's beating the knight. Now, first thing they do to me is perform the prostration gesture on me. I think it's because they're trying to communicate to me that they don't want to fight and that they're begging to let me go. If only Yuji Tanemura let us talk to other players as a dark spirit. But the guy didn't, and I'm out here for just one thing, the host. So we start swinging. So my game actually freezes a little here, and I take a cheap illegal hit. Where was the referee with that one? Tanemura? You know, the dude on the cover on Dark Souls 2, you know, he has a longsword. And would you believe that the longsword is actually one of the best PvP weapons in this game? Crazy. The moveset is so good. I then hit our host with the classic R1, R1, R2. It misses, but I go one hand, and there we go. Now how did we get here? How did we get here? What series of events and chain reactions led to this moment of time? Why did the invader, Dr. Treblesix, let one host live to fight a boss and defeat another host just as they were right before the boss? What made Treblesix, our invader, do this? You know, a lot of comments in my Elden Ring player video were saying, well, Dr. Treblesix, you're a horrible person. You are gatekeeping. You're a child and should just let the host get to the boss when they ask you over messages that they've been stuck in the level. You're everything that's wrong with the community. You should be stripped of your title as a doctor psychologist. You don't stack paper to the ceiling and write on 24-inch chrome. How did we get here? What led to this? What did FromSoft mean by this? By letting one player enter another player's world and destroy them? Or give them life? How could this happen? Why did Dr. Treblesix give one host 20,000 souls and make another player lose 5% of their health bar? How did we get here? What butterfly effect led to this exact situation? Was it the invader not getting enough sleep the night prior? Was it the invader having a burger instead of a salad? Was it preordained by a higher power that the invader and the host met like this, and that the invader would attack and defeat the host? Was it lag? Was it chance? Was it luck? Was it skill? Was it 100% concentrated power of will? How did we get here? The answer to this entire scenario of events is actually very simple. The host simply didn't bribe me with souls. That's right, kids. Remember, the world runs on souls. Until next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dive psychology reports of a Dark Souls player.